So hi guys, I'm here again. Hi everyone. I'm here with some news from the Middle East. Last 24 hours I received some Israeli news. What is happening on the stage of the United Nations in New York in the end of the year, like every year they used to have some meeting worldwide. Also the G77 is meeting in Cuba. And the main point of the meetings is the peace between Israel and Palestine. So slowly but surely, all the world is almost involved to divide Israel. And how we know, if you watch my map of the last 7 years, what I made, the first sign of this this last 7 years is exactly dividing of Israel. And from that day, when they sign, where it will be signed, I guess on the United Nations, when it happens, that day we stepped in the last 7 years, and from that day up, the prophecies of the frozen prophecies, nice word, frozen prophecies, or how I can say, they will start to open. So the prophets of Israel, they are talking about the last 7 years a lot. Zechariah 14:1 until the end of the chapter. Ezekiel 38:39. Psalms are talking there. Psalms are full of the happenings in the last 7 years. From Moses until the end of the book, everything is mostly written about the last 7 years and that development. But mostly the most signs what are from book of Daniel. I made up this map with the help of God, with the help of the Almighty. I don't know why he chose me, but it happened like this. With his help, better said, with his help, I understood the outcome of the book of Daniel, what I put together. You can see the map on my channel. I just posted few weeks ago. So please, if you watch it, share it as much possible. Subscribe on my channel, please. Push the subscribe button and also the little bell that you can be informed with my new upcoming videos. So yeah, how we could see at the UN, the Saudi Arabia asserts that the only way to resolve the decades-old Israeli Palestinian issue is the two-state solution. Exactly like you heard in a video, European Union, the high level chief is involved as well. He is making the group of surveillance, or how I can say that they will be busy to achieve the peace in Israel as well. At the G77, the Palestinian president is talking to end the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory. As well, the Colombian president is talking and how comparing the Ukrainian-Russian war with the occupation of Israel and the Palestinian issue. So, and how they can propose, the G77 will propose for the United Nations to achieve immediately peace, and the peace agreement is how the European chief said, only the two-state solution. There is no other opportunity. So Guys, we are very close. As I was talking, you can see the video. You can see the video now, and then I will talk a little bit more about how to prepare or how to get ready for those days. So here is the video.
TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives in New York for the annual UN General Assembly Summit. Saudi Arabia asserts that the only way to resolve the decades-old Israel-Palestinian conflict would be through a negotiated two-state solution. Iran releases 5 American hostages in exchange for 5 Iranian agents and $6 billion in frozen Iranian funds. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu concluded the first leg of his official visit to the United States ahead of a marathon of meetings with world leaders on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly. Before traveling to New York City, the Israeli premier arrived in California, where he...
Guys, here I stop the video and I go further to the second main news. What is the Israeli Prime Minister went to New York to the UN, and what it's going on there, what will happen there, about what they are talking there. It is about the peace in between Saudi Arabia and Israel, and also peace between Israel and Palestine, and how they can achieve this peace. So,
arrived in New York late last night, where he is scheduled to deliver an address to the United Nations General Assembly on Friday. Prior to his pending address, the Israeli premier has either met or is scheduled to meet with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Paraguayan President Santiago Peña, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and U.S. President Joe Biden.
President Biden will sit down with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel to discuss a range of bilateral and regional issues focused on the shared democratic values between the United States and Israel, and a vision for a more stable and prosperous and integrated region, as well as to compare notes on effectively countering and deterring Iran.
Meanwhile, Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan al-Saud announced that the resolution of the Israel-Palestinian conflict would only be possible with the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. Riyadh's top diplomat called for the two-state solution to return to the forefront.
So we can clearly hear what the Saudi Arabian diplomat is telling, that achieving the peace between Israel and Palestine is only the two-state solution. And how we can hear further in this video, the European Union high diplomat is also telling the same, and further on the G77 what they are talking about and how they are pushing forward to divide Israel. So how it's written in Zachariah and in other places, the whole world is almost involved to divide Israel.
Remarks that followed a closed-door meeting on the Israel-Palestinian conflict, which the kingdom sponsored on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Following the meeting, the European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell, announced that a decision was made at the meeting to launch an international effort to achieve peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
We launched this process. We launched the process of trying to imagine what the peace would look like. In order to reinvigorate this process, and in order not to finish a meeting and forget about it, we have launched 3 senior level working groups that will be completely elaborating bilateral, regional, and global approaches. They will start in 1 month from now in Brussels.
The EU top diplomat, who was joined by his counterparts from Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, as well as the Secretary General of the Arab League, further asserted his view that there is no alternative to the internationally aspired two-state solution, despite over 3 decades of failed attempts to realize such a module.
But we cannot stay idle repeating the mantra of two-state solutions without doing a lot to get it. So the result of the meeting is that a strong commitment by many people to engage more in these two-state solutions, which is the only viable solution. There is not an alternative. There is not a viable other solution.
Only viable solution is the two-state solution. Not other alternative comes engaged. So you can hear clearly. So please, I'm telling you, watch my video about the last 7 years and the signs of these last 7 years and with what starts the last 7 years. And if you go to the Prophet Zechariah 14th chapter verse 1, he's talking exactly about this dividing of Israel, and in the second verse he's talking about the invasion of Israel, but is the second half of the last 7 years. So we go further.
And we have to prepare the ground for a comprehensive peace, which is long overdue, and the benefit of the people of Israel and Palestine.
It is worth noting that a couple of days prior to the UN General Assembly, a G77 summit was hosted in Havana, Cuba, where the Chinese-led forum included a marathon day of speeches by many anti-Western leaders and heads of state who seized the opportunity to bash the United States and Europe in particular, while ignoring their own domestic woes rooted in corruption, suppression of their respective nations' peoples, and blatant disregard of international law, norms, and values. Among others, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas utilized the international fora to call for a united response against Israel.
Isn't it the time to end this complex historical injustice that affects the Palestinian people? Mr. President, the Palestinian people, with the support of the G77 plus China, the group we had the honor to preside over in 2019, is determined to overcome the historical injustice that has stifled its development and has hampered its aspirations during a complete century. And now, as I'm speaking, the policies and actions of Israel aim at securing its colonial occupation settlements and the imposition of an apartheid reality, which must not be tolerated. This situation must end now.
Alongside the Palestinian leader, who is predominantly fiscally backed by the West, Colombian President Gustavo Petro sought to draw a comparison between Russia's invasion of Ukraine to the decades-old Israel-Palestinian conflict, irrespective of history.
Why this double morale of having a great front of human unity in the Russian war and Ukraine against Russia, and not taking sides and sabotaging the possibility of a great human front in the Israel occupation in the Palestine territory? It's the same. Wouldn't it be already the time the G77 proposes to the United Nations and the world powers that it's the time for 2 immediate peace conferences?
In other news, the United States has released 5 convicted.
So we could hear here the Colombian president as well as the Palestinian president, what they are talking about to end the occupation of the Israeli people, the state of Palestine, and to immediately propose the G77 that will be proposed by them at the United Nations to achieve the peace immediately between Israel and Palestine. And we heard before in a in a video that what is the main solution, what is only solution to achieve this peace. So we go further about the releasement of the Iranian 6 billion from Korea, and how Iran release 5 or 7 prisoners. So the Iranian regime has 6 billion from now on. Nice.
Iranian agents and transferred $6 billion in frozen Iranian funds to Qatar in exchange for 5 dual American Iranian nationals who were held hostage by the Ayatollah regime. The Iranian Foreign Ministry announced yesterday that it expected to have its $6 billion in funds transferred from South Korea to a friendly country in the region in reference to Qatar.
Billion.
Shortly thereafter, South Korea's foreign ministry confirmed that the funds have been transferred in full and voiced hope that this move would improve relations between Seoul and Tehran, since the latter had repeatedly harassed South Korea's commercial shipping in the Gulf region in recent years.
The Iranian funds that had been frozen in South Korea due to financial sanctions on Iran have been recently transferred to a third country successfully under close coordination among the involved countries.
After the funds arrived in a designated Qatari account earmarked for the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Ayatollah regime greenlighted the transfer of the 5 American hostages to the United States via Qatar.
Just a few minutes ago, I had the great pleasure of speaking to 7 Americans who are now free from their imprisonment or detention in Iran, out of prison, and now in Doha, en route back to the United States to be reunited with their loved ones. 5 of the 7, of course, had been unjustly detained, imprisoned in Iran, some for years. 2 others had been prevented from leaving Iran. I spoke to them after they landed in Doha.
It is worth highlighting that 3 of the Iranian agents, which the United States released, returned to Iran. 2 of those Iranian agents, however, who apparently hold also American passports, were permitted to remain in the United States.
President Biden has demonstrated that he's prepared to make tough and difficult decisions. I have no higher priority. The president has no higher priority than making sure that Americans who are unjustly detained anywhere can come home. And we'll continue that work in the days ahead.
For $6 billion. Beautiful.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. Keep praying for the people.
So here I stop the video as well, and I will talk about it a little bit shortly. How you could saw in the video, like I said before, all these points are on the table like they were never before from Israeli state. It is 70 years. Last couple of weeks ago, I was talking with my friend about this map of the last 7 years. Of course, he didn't believe. He was answering me, yes, they are talking about the dividing of Israel 70 years. Yes, I said, but you know, the day is coming that it will happen, and it is so much on the table like it was never before, and now is involved. We can say after this video, after the news, Israeli news, that the whole world is involved, from China to South America, from America to Saudi Arabia, Israel. Everybody is involved through Europa. So what to say further? How to prepare? Today I was talking with one of my, we can say, like colleague. I am managing a building company, so I was visiting him today for some stuff, and he's also informed about the happenings in the world, about the digital identity, the digital currency, the digital vaccination passports, and all this stuff what is coming, what is pushed on us from the elites of the world. And nothing we can say, only that they are cooking, and they are cooking it quick. It's almost ready. If you watch the map of the last 7 years, it is the 7 years separated in two periods. The first period is the peace in the Middle East, and normally also in the world, plus minus. And the second part is the complete destruction after invasion of Israel, begin in couple of months, let's say. I not say let's say, but invasion of Israel, shutting down the altar. From that day, there is a 1 month propaganda to the Gog from the land of Magog. And from that day, after 30 months, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, will erupt, maximum in 4 months, will erupt the Third World War. So, and with that comes on the scene the old digital currencies, passports, vaccination passports. If you will not be willing to go with the proposed agenda, you will be imprisoned. You will be put in concentration camps. If they catch you on the street, you are not vaccinated, or you are not going with the system, they will take you. You come back vaccinated, or you never come back. So such a stuff is waiting for us. This is in to be served on our table soon. So how to prepare for this? How I prepare myself? I'm preparing myself like that I am connecting myself to God with all my force. I am repenting myself. I turn my life away from the bad. I was talking very, very, very ugly. I was trashing on people. I was talking. Every second word was curse. Very, very bad guy I was, we can say. I turned away from this. I shut my mouth. I pray 5 times a day. We were just talking with the guys. Yeah, I pray like 3 hours a day. In the morning, one hour and something. During the work, 20 minutes. After work, 20 minutes. In the evening before sleeping, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And during the day, if I'm eating, one time minimum, a prayer of 5 or 6 minutes. So this everything is in the way of some 3 hours. So if you pray, if you start to pray, you will get more clear vision about the happenings in the world, and what is good and what is bad. Because if you are on the thought that everything is all right with you and everything is good, and my life is the best, and other ones are wrong, so that's already, to think like this, it's something not good. So you have to change your life. All of us needs to change our life, because God is coming, and He's coming with a big speed, and who is not according to His will be or changed, pushed to change, or will disappear. So He is a good God. He is a good God, and but He can slap in your face if you are doing something wrong. You know, the action and reaction. If you make something wrong, you will get a slap in your face. So to say to you, connect yourself with God. With God, to connect is through prayers. During the praying, I am praying Psalms. I'm reading a lot of Psalms, mostly the Psalms, or I downloaded some prayers from the Jewish prayer books, And I am not a Jew. I would like to convert. I'm thinking about it strongly, but still I'm not Jew. I just left a couple of weeks ago the Christianity. To say about Christianity a little bit later in upcoming videos, that the Christianity it's from the force of the other side. Only the Judaism is the right religion, if we can call it religion. It is not a religion, but it is the book of life, how we have to live. So it is for Jews, but also for non-Jews is these things, and the end is the coming of Mashiach, coming of God on this earth, and establishing the God's kingdom through the Mashiach. And after that will disappear all the nations, and will be only Israel, and Israel will be served with the rest of the nations. So yeah, what to say? To repent, shut your mouth, don't talk trash, don't talk about other people, don't accuse other people, don't watch not good movies, don't watch porno, I can say. Stop it, don't do it, don't watch with the want on the other poles. It is very important. Who can keep himself, it's cleaning himself. Just turn away or don't watch it, guys. So what to say more? Yeah, to prepare physically. You have to prepare also physically. If we are watching the history of ours, or if you are watching the history of the Torah, in the Torah, the history, there is written about the things. If you know about what will happen, so prepare. When Joseph was sent to Egypt, an Egyptian Pharaoh had a dream that with the cows, the 7 thick cows and 7 very weak cows, it was about the 7 upcoming years. So they prepared with the food, with the everything. And this I'm suggesting as well. If you don't want to go with the system, you will be not able to go to the shops to buy your food. If there will be food, there will be shortage of food all around the world. They are making it on purpose. There will be war, very big war, and where there will be no war, they will be pushing forward to achieve everybody under the control, under the vaccinations and stuff like that. So if you will be against this system, you will have to be able to survive in food, or in the villages, or somewhere. You will have to have food, you will have to have clothes for these days, some cars, I don't know, tents. Just wake up your imagination and start to prepare. Until it's affordable, you can still buy stuff, you can still prepare, but the dividing of Israel is on the table like it was never. It can happen next year with a presidential vote of the United States, or presidential, that the Biden administration has to win the elections. So if they win, and if they are achieving the peace in the Middle East between Saudi Arabia and Israel, there will be a big boom about it. And from this they will win the votes. They will cover a lot of stuff with this achievement, and all the news will be full with this. So please watch my video with last 7 years explanation of Daniel and the outcome of Daniel, and this is the outcome of Daniel. So please share the video as much possible. Put it on your Facebook, doesn't matter where. Just share the video that people knows about it. I just started with my channel in English. I have some Slovakian channel, There I have more videos, but it is in Slovakian, so you can't translate it in this English. You can translate it, you can change the how they call it, the subtitles, and then you can watch it in other languages as well. So please guys, start to repent, start to pray, start to make contact with God, start to prepare physically, emotionally, start to prepare, because the Second World War, it's next to this what is coming on the world, like small with the small cars we are playing in a sand, you know. So there will be no money, there will be no honey. So comes everything digital, and with this digital identity, everything what you have will be connected to this digital identity. And if you are not going with the system, they are just switching you out from the society. If you are available, they are catching you, putting you under the control, or if you don't, you are losing everything. You have to be prepared for such a things. So prepare, think about it, if you want to go with the system or no. There is this map. This map is showing you from that point to that point is so many days until it ends, because this system will end, and comes Mashiach, comes God, and he will turn everything on his way. So please share the video one more time, subscribe on the channel, like the video. This would be for the moment everything. I hope you like the video. I am saying amen and amen. Until next time. Yo!